Hi, here's another video. I've been having a look at this Zanussi Lindo 300 online. These are the original listing images, and it looks like they've left some of the original accessories inside. And the seller says that heating its element's not working, otherwise working fine. So I put a bid in for £19 and nobody else has been done it. So I've gone and collected it, and here it is. And it looks like quite a tidy machine. That's a model number there. So let me just show you around it, and it's fairly tidy. Okay, so if you just have a look inside, and the door latch is broken. This was not mentioned in the listing. I'm not sure how the machine could have been running fine with a broken door latch, because the door wouldn't be able to close. Okay, I'll have to give negative feedback for that. Inside, what I thought was accessories with the original machine, it is not. Samsung packaging. This is a Zanussi machine, so they must have just bought a new machine, this model number, and chucked all the old wrapping inside. Let's have a look. That's the actual catalogue number from Argus. So if I just put that in Google, and it looks like they bought themselves a nice Samsung heat pump tumble dryer for £579. So let's just chuck this rubbish to one side, and let me have a look inside here. That's the lint filter, and it's got traces of condensation, so it looks to me as though and it's still got lint inside from the last successful dry, but it's got a lot of condensation around the filter, which says to me that the condenser has not been cleaned regularly. Let's just pop this condenser out and have a look. It's in the bottom here. Straight away, the cover's on upside down for some reason or another. Let's see if I can get that open. Put it to one side. This is the condenser, and it looks fairly new, fairly tidy. Okay, so let me just pop that back in for a minute. Goes this way up. Let's put this cover on the correct way. Okay, so I'm just going to check the power cords for damage all the way to the machine, if you've seen my videos before. And then I'm just going to dismantle the machine, have a look inside, give it a clean. So I'm just removing the top cover. It's all Torx on these, 2 screws on the back, and the top cover comes off. Let me just dismantle it. I'll do this bit a bit lively just to make the video shorter. Here you can see me just removing these side panels. Right, let me just stop it here, just give it a close up. Okay, it's fairly tight inside. I've done a lot of Hoover and candy machines which have been full of lint. This one's quite clean inside. I'll show you the other side. Yeah, that's fairly tight inside. I'm going to give it a clean anyway, as I'm looking to resell this machine. So let me just carry on dismantling the machine. Let's get that front cover off. Removing the seal there. Okay, so that's the front cover removed. The back here, we've got the heating element. More than likely there's a problem inside here. Let me just get this cover off. Remove the top cover already. And this is the heating element I'm removing. And I can see a lot of residue around the blower where the heat blows up into the heater there. That looks like a buildup of, looks like soap, because the condenser was not cleaned regularly, so you get a lot of condensation build up. So here you can see me just removing the heating elements. Let's see, I'm going to have to give that an inspection. That's the heating element there. Let me show you inside. The elements themselves look tidy, look quite neat. but they've not been overheating. So I'll just carry on. I'm going to have a look inside this pump. The pump sits inside here, and if that blocks up, if the float blocks up, it won't send heat. So I'm going to give that a good clean. I'm going to completely remove that. There's a lot of lint inside here, dried up, as you can see at the bottom there. There's a pump with the float. So that's going to have to get a good clean as well. Okay, so I'm going to give the whole machine a clean. Get rid of all this lint. Just get my jet wash inside here, just so I can blast all this lint out. And you can see me just giving the condenser housing a clean. And this is the pump. Let me just see if I can get rid of some of this residue on here, where it's been because of the condenser not been cleaned. Okay, so I'm just going to clean the individual panels. That's the back cover. And this is one of the side panels. The hood. It's cover for the condenser, and it's the condenser as well. Like I said, it looks fairly tidy, fairly new actually. And it's the lint filter, and that's the door. Just get rid of all the fluff and lint from around it. Okay, let me just show you here. I've got the panels nice and clean here, and I'm going to leave this machine to dry out because I've got certain parts of it wet. I'm going to leave it for a week to dry out and put the whole lot in my shed to dry out. And this is the control panel, which I'm going to have a look at. This is the heating element, which is suspect, and this is the front panel with the control panel inside. I'm not going to get that wet. I'm going to manually clean that because of the PCB. Okay, while that's drying, I'm going to turn to the broken door catch that wasn't mentioned in the listing. Here you can see me just removing it from the door. Little piece here. So what I'm going to do, I had a look online. I could see a new part for $6.95, which I've ordered. Just got to wait for it to arrive. In the meantime, I'm just going to dismantle the door and remove the broken section. So it's just 6 Torx screws on this door. I'm just going to split the door and remove the broken section of the door latch or catch. You can see it there. I've split the door there. And then all I've got to do now, if I just flip it up, there's 2 screws holding the broken catch in place. Just undo them there. Once I've got the 2 screws out of the way, I can show you. That's the other half of the catch, which is broken. Okay, so the new parts arrived. The catch which I've ordered. Let me just show you here. And that's the new part there. Door handle latch, I think it's called. So I'm just going to fit that. And it just slots into the door where the previous part was removed, broken. And then it's just 2 screws holding it in place. 2 Phillips screws. And once they're in, it's just a matter of putting the door panel back together with the Torx screws. Here you can see me just lining it up. I'm just going to flip it over now, once I've got it all lined up correctly. And you can see the hinge flapping about there. And it's just a matter of putting all these Torx screws back in. And I'll just do that lively because there's quite a few. I'll show you here, that's the new door catch in place. Or latch. Okay, right, moving on to the heating elements. See here, I've given it a clean with the Hoover, and it's a fairly tidy unit. More than likely the thermostat's stripped because it looks to have had a buildup of condensation inside the unit because the condenser was not cleaned in a timely manner. So let me just get the voltmeter on it. Let me just test the element first. So I'll just put it on Holmes and just pop the connection on this black wire just to test, see if I got any readings for the elements. And I have, as you see there, so the element is not damaged. So let me just put it on continuity. Hear the beep there, so this should beep. This cutout sensor, which it has not. We put the prongs on it, it should beep, but it doesn't, so that's obviously blown. So that needs replacing. Let me show you here. Just remove these two spade connectors and test it again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is remove this cutout switch. It's riveted in, so I'm going to see if I can work it out, and then in a way so I can put it back together. What I'm going to do here, as you can see, I've successfully managed to remove the cutout switch. This cuts off the element when it gets too hot. And let me just show you here if you want to make a replacement. This is the model number, and that refers to the temperature, 140 degrees centigrade before it drips. Okay, so I'm just going to test the cutout sensor again using a continuity of me. You see I've got no reading at all, nothing at all. So this is obviously tripped because the condenser was not cleaned, and it caused the heater to overheat. You can bring them back apparently like this by tapping it. Some of these sensors have a reset switch at the top. See, I've tried it there but unsuccessful. So what I'm going to do, just take it in the kitchen and whack it on a solid floor, which I have done. Just dropped it on the floor from head height and try it again. And as you can see here, now we've got continuity again. Let me show you again. See, now we've got continuity. So this is working again. So it's just a matter of reinserting it. I've had to squash the rivets in with a pair of pliers. And what I'm going to do is try and tuck it back in here. So I'm just going to use a pair of long nose pliers to crimp the rivet so it holds in place. There's two of them. And I'm going to need my long nose and a normal set of pliers for this end here. And just crimp it. Pretty satisfied with that. Let me just test it. As you can see there, they're nice and crimped, and it's nice and solid. So it's just a matter of reconnecting the spade connectors to the cutout sensor thermostat. And just give it a final test. Okay, so that's ready to be put back in to the machine, ready to be refitted. Pretty satisfied with that. It's a finished product there. Okay, moving on to the controller. I'm just going to pop it out to this its housing here. You see all the relays on the top. So I'm just going to reflow them, just using a bit of flux here. And I'm just going to resolder the relays and some of the resistors. Okay, so here you can see me just reassembling the machine. About a week later, got all the parts nice and ready. So I'm just quickly fitting the machine back together. Okay, so let me just show you here, get a close up. Here you can see me refitting the heater back in place. Just hooks onto the top, and then there's two screws underneath. You see me doing up there, the torque screws again. And it's just a matter of tucking this cable through here with the grommet. Make sure the grommet's nice and tucked in there. And then this cover goes over the top. The blower cover. And let me just speed through this section because there's about 9 screws holding it in place. Okay. And then let's just come around here. I'll show you this side for the connectors. This socket just locks into this housing here. And then you got your 2 connections, connection blocks there. Just click that in, and the other one. Okay, so that's all fitted together. I think we're pretty much ready to give it a try. So I've got it plugged in. Just give it a demo, see what happens. Switch it on. And we seem to be running. I just gotta wait to see if it warms up, because this is what the initial fault was. According to the seller, heats up. I'll show you inside there. It's got nice and clean. And back here, it's not warm yet. I've only just turned it on. So I'm gonna have to leave this to run for a bit. And that's the water tank. Okay, just stuck my head inside there. I can feel heat. So the heater is working now. So what I'm going to do to test it, I'm going to chuck this wet. Just took these washing out of the washing machine. So I'm just going to switch it on and let that run to test. In the meantime, I'll continue to reassemble the machine. Just put the side panel, this side panel back on here. While I'm testing it. And there's a cover that goes on the back here, the insulation. You can see me just putting the 5 screws back in. Okay. Okay, so that's been running for about 40 minutes now. And I'm just going to put the hood back on, top cover, while it's still running. It's just 2 torque screws on the back, which hold the top cover in place. And then, let me just open it up. Yep, it's nice and hot inside there. It's not quite finished the cycle, but these are fairly dry. They are dry actually. So that pretty much concludes. I will continue to test. Let me just show you here. This is the lint filter. Caught a lot of lint. So I will continue to test. Okay, here you see I've got 2 machines on the test at the same time. I usually just use them to test whilst I'm doing my own washing. And I'll test them for a couple of weeks before I put them up for sale. And here you can see I put this one up for sale on the internet, put it back on. And I've managed to successfully sell it. So with that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe.